Hollywood has a way of surprising us, sometimes in ways we never expect. When a beloved star from a classic film makes a choice that catches everyone off guard, it immediately becomes a talking point. People react with curiosity, confusion, or even admiration. One such moment in pop culture involves Linda Blair, a young actress who became an icon thanks to her unforgettable role in The Exorcist. That film terrified audiences worldwide and turned Blair into a household name almost overnight. But while her role as a possessed girl is what most people remember, her life outside of the movies took a turn that also captured the public's attention. Over time, Linda made choices that showed she was determined to step out of the shadow of her famous role and be seen for who she truly was. A journey that continues to spark conversation decades later. Rising to fame, the young star of The Exorcist, Linda Blair was just 14 years old when she landed the role of Regan MacNeil in The Exorcist, a performance that would define her career. The film became an instant classic, renowned for its terrifying scenes, and Blair's portrayal of a child possessed by a demon earned her both critical acclaim and widespread attention. Audiences were stunned by the depth of her acting at such a young age, and her performance earned her nominations for some of the industry's most prestigious awards. Overnight, Linda became a symbol of both horror and cinematic talent. Yet behind the fame and accolades, the reality of childhood stardom was not easy. Reporters constantly followed her, fans scrutinized her every move, and the pressure to live up to her early success was immense. Even at a young age, she understood that she had captured the world's attention in a way very few could. Growing up under the spotlight. As Linda grew older, the challenges of childhood stardom became more apparent. Audiences continued to associate her primarily with the iconic horror role she had played years earlier. While some actors embrace a signature role, Linda wanted more. She longed to be recognized as a person, not just the character that haunted moviegoers' nightmares. The intense media scrutiny and public fascination with her personal life made it difficult to carve out her own identity. Like many child stars, she struggled with the balance between maintaining her public image and asserting her independence. Every choice she made seemed to be viewed through the lens of her early fame, leaving little room for the personal growth and exploration that most young adults experience. She was determined to take control of her narrative and show the world that she had evolved beyond the role that initially defined her. A bold step toward independence. In the early 1980s, Linda Blair made a series of career and personal choices that reflected her desire for independence and self-expression. She participated in photo shoots and interviews that presented her as an adult, showing the world that she had grown up and was in control of her own image. These decisions were met with varying reactions. Some people were surprised, while others applauded her for embracing maturity and taking charge of her public persona. For Linda, it was not about seeking attention or creating controversy. Instead, it was a conscious effort to assert her identity as a fully grown individual with agency over her life and career. She wanted to move past the limited perception people had of her as the scared little girl from a horror movie and embrace the opportunities and challenges of adulthood with confidence and dignity. Redefining herself in the public eye. Making the transition from child star to adult in Hollywood is notoriously difficult. Many young actors struggle with public perception, and their personal choices are often subject to intense scrutiny. Linda Blair's decision to participate in projects that showcased her maturity was part of a larger effort to redefine herself. She wanted to break free from the one-dimensional image created by her early work and demonstrate that she could take on more complex and varied roles. These efforts were a way to reclaim her narrative and express her autonomy in a world that often imposes labels on women in particular. By doing so, she challenged expectations and showed that growing up in the spotlight does not have to mean remaining trapped by the past, but rather can be an opportunity for reinvention and personal growth. Facing public reaction. Whenever a celebrity makes bold moves, public opinion can be intense and often contradictory. Some fans were supportive of Linda's desire to grow and be recognized as an adult, while others were confused by the choices she made. This reaction is common when people are confronted with a familiar face doing something unexpected. It challenges preconceived notions and sparks debate. Linda remained unapologetic and focused on her own goals, demonstrating a remarkable level of resilience. Instead of allowing criticism to define her, she continued to pursue opportunities that reflected her values and interests. This ability to stand firm in the face of judgment highlights a critical aspect of her journey: the courage to prioritize personal authenticity over public approval, a challenge that many people, celebrities or not, can relate to in their own lives. Beyond Hollywood, advocacy, and passion projects, Linda Blair did not let her public image overshadow her personal values and passions. In addition to continuing her acting career, she devoted significant time to causes close to her heart, particularly animal rights. She founded organizations to help rescue animals and raised awareness about their welfare, demonstrating that her contributions extended far beyond the entertainment industry. By channeling her energy into advocacy, she showed that her identity was multifaceted and that she could use her platform for meaningful impact. This work helped to redefine her public persona in a way that focused on her values rather than simply her fame or past roles. Linda's dedication to her passions exemplifies how individuals can leverage public attention to affect positive change, proving that growth and reinvention are always possible. Lessons from Linda Blair's journey. Linda Blair's life and career offer a series of important lessons about growth, resilience, and authenticity. Her story reminds us that public perception does not always capture the full picture of a person's life. Judgments based on limited knowledge can be misleading, and it is often more meaningful to try to understand someone's motivations and experiences. Linda's choices, whether in her career, public appearances, or advocacy work, reflect a desire to define herself on her own terms. She navigated the challenges of fame, scrutiny, and personal evolution with courage and self-determination, serving as an example of what it means to reclaim one's narrative and live authentically despite external pressures. Her journey demonstrates that even those who achieve early fame are capable of growth, reinvention, and meaningful contribution throughout their lives. The lasting impact on pop culture. Even decades after her breakout role, Linda Blair remains a figure of cultural significance. People continue to discuss her work in The Exorcist, her career choices, and her advocacy efforts. Part of this enduring attention comes from the way she has managed her public image while asserting her independence. Her journey from child star to empowered adult, capable of making decisions about her life and work, resonates with audiences because it reflects a universal struggle, the desire to be seen and respected for who we truly are. Through both her artistic work and her personal initiatives, Linda Blair continues to influence conversations about fame, identity, and personal freedom, showing that a person's story is never fully told in a single role or headline. Conclusion: understanding the person behind the star. Linda Blair's story is a reminder that celebrities are complex human beings with hopes, dreams, and challenges just like anyone else. While her early fame in The Exorcist is what initially brought her into the public eye, it is her ongoing efforts to define herself, pursue meaningful work, and maintain personal agency that offer the most inspiring lessons. Judging her solely on one aspect of her life overlooks the broader picture of growth, courage, and self-expression that defines her journey. By looking beyond headlines and focusing on context, we gain a deeper understanding of the choices she made and the person she became. Linda Blair's life encourages us to consider the stories behind the images and to appreciate the resilience required to navigate the complexities of fame while remaining true to oneself.